So we're ready. Community meeting. Medical Lake Gray Road Fire. Today is November 15th. I can't believe that we're 90 days out. August, September, October, November, yeah, 90 days. Here we are. Welcome to those who are watching online. Welcome to those of you who are here. Anyone from Spokane Sheriff Chaplaincy present? Okay, we're going to open in prayer. Lord, we just thank you. We thank you for all the work that's been accomplished. We have a lot of good things to report tonight, and we're just grateful. We're thankful for our friends, Lord. We're thankful that we're making progress, and we're thankful for our community. And we just pray you'll bless this meeting and let it be productive. Let questions be answered and the burdens be lifted in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. Our focus tonight is going to be an update on the tree and debris removal. We have some information about the RV winterization. We're going to have a report on unmet needs. Jerry, are you going to be giving a report on unmet needs? Okay, you might want to come down front here so we can be efficient with that. And then we also have Spokane County here because folks have had some concerns about permitting in the unincorporated area there on the West Shore of Silver Lake. So we have Commissioner Al French here. We'll hear from him, and then also Monty from the Permit and Planning Department there at Spokane County is here. If you have questions about permitting or planning for the city of Medical Lake, we do have Elisa Rodriguez here as well, and she's here that can answer questions after. I won't make her come up and speak because that's not her favorite thing to do, but she's here. So welcome everyone, and so let's just get right to it. I want to invite Ron Burris to come up and tell you about your great community, all the work that has been done, and I couldn't be more proud of our community and what Ron and his team have been able to accomplish. So here you go.
Good evening. So we just got finished with our final pickup for this year. Unfortunately, the weather is kind of starting to get the better of us. When we started this, we had our first committee meeting exactly 1 month after the fire. And we hurriedly put a plan together of how to deal with this. There are 7 people on this committee, including myself. And I'm going to have them stand right now so that you guys can recognize them. We have Scott Duncan, the Medical Lake City's Public Works Director. Kent Reitmeyer, Ken Cooper, Megan Doneen, and Matt Alaria. And there's one other, Will Malott, and he's not present tonight. So the 7 of us came up with a plan of how to try to deal with this. You guys can go ahead and sit down. None of us are tree removal experts or debris removal experts or anything like that, but we all have our area of specialization. And so we came up with a plan, we pitched it to you guys, and we went through with it. We had a lot of troubles. We had successes. And this past weekend, we have collected over, just this last weekend, we collected over 3,000 cubic yards of burnt debris. That is a pile that is sitting down on land Silver Lake Bible Camp has let us pile on. That pile is probably close to 200 feet long. It's about 25 feet wide and it's 15 feet tall. So 2 weeks ago, we picked up a pile half that size. And through the generosity of Avista, they ground that first pile, plus probably another 1,000 cubic yards of material that we had piled down Greenfield and back in some of the other areas that they have taken care of. So a big thank you to Avista for getting rid of that for us. All of this work was done completely by volunteers. We did not pay 1 penny for any of this that was done. And we're going to give a shout out to some of the companies that helped us along the way, because without them, we would not have had the manpower or the machinery to do this. Madalaria with Dirtworks Land Management. Jack Gillingham with Gillingham Sand and Gravel. Adam, what's his last name, Matt? Right there. Oh, stand up, Adam. Adam with Tree Line Construction. Tim Reed with Reed Hauling. Cruzy Construction. Environment West. Will's Excavation. Chapman Field Service. The next 4 here were rental companies that donated equipment to us. Sunbelt Rental, Western States Tack, United Rentals, and A to Z Rental. The next 2 on here were huge for us, because without them, we wouldn't have got any of these trees down. Kagi Forestry and Lone Pine Land Management, which is Megan Williams. Megan talked to a bunch of her sawyers in her field, and these guys donated hundreds of hours to come and saw trees down. So a big thank you to them. We had Kevin Roman of On Call Tree Service, Paul's Tree and Land Management, Paul Henline, Will Malott of Plant Healthcare Services, all arborists. They were able to go, they were some wildland, and then also some of our city lots. I couldn't have got those without those guys. We had the Silver Lake Bible Camp that offered us machinery plus a place to stockpile all this. Ed Reed down on Silver Lake loaned us his mini excavator for 3 days. Restoration Hope Northwest. These are a group out of Chehalis, Washington. They sent 3 operators over and paid to rent machinery and ran for 2.5 days. LJ Fuel gave us a donation of some diesel to run these machines on. And then we have some others here. We had Longhorn Barbecue that supplied us lunch and a chili feed. We had the Silver Lake Bible Camp that gave us lunch one day. We had the Salvation Army that gave us lunch one day. And then the biggest one of all is going to be Ken Cooper, because this guy spent 8 hours a day for probably 6 days a week down going through all of this stuff. He has spent hundreds of hours as kind of our guy on the ground and without him, we wouldn't have known where the properties were, where the trees were. He coordinated with the loggers, he coordinated with the homeowners, he reached out. So a big kudos to Ken. And then Avista Utilities for agreeing to give us 16 hours of grinding. And that grinder runs about $1,000 now, so a big thank you. All total, these donations add up to almost $122,000 that your community members have given back to you. So that being said, unfortunately, we did not get to everybody. We were all volunteer. We could only use what resources we could get on a weekly basis. And we had to prioritize where we could send those resources. If I had a dump truck, an excavator, and a skid steer, my choices and the committee's choices were, do we send it to Clear Lake and get 2 houses? Or do I put it down on Greenfield Lane and get 10 houses? And unfortunately, we had to take the 10 houses. We had to utilize the resources and help the most people that we could. I lost a lot of nights' sleep trying to figure out how to get to everybody, and we just couldn't. That being said, we are done for the fall, but we will resume in the spring. We are still working on some stuff. We're still trying to figure out how to get out to these other people. So we did get, of our initial, when we first started putting this plan out, we had 164 homeowners sign up. We had some more join in, could have been 15, 20, 25. We have roughly figured we got to 85%. We got the dangerous strike trees down from your properties where you can rebuild. There are some city lots that we still know about. The city has those under contract. Those lots will be taken care of. So anybody in the city on like Evergreen or Jim Darby, up in those areas, those lots behind you, the city does have them under contract to be taken care of. So those trees will go away here shortly. But it's been a pleasure working on this. It has been a lot of work, and we couldn't have done it without the team that I had behind me. So thank you.
He's been a rock star, and his wife Robin have really put their whole heart and soul into this, and we appreciate you so much. I wish there was more I could say. He's just so great. So I did find some good news out today. So that pile he was talking about that's 25 feet wide and I don't know how many hundreds of feet long and 15 feet high, whatever it was, it's huge. So we did get Spokane Conservation District, Spokane Clean Air is able to fund the grinding of that. And so we did get a quote today that'll go to Board of County Commissioners, surprise. But that's coming, and so we'll have that whole pile gone here within probably the next couple weeks. And so they'll give us a clean slate for starting. And then of course in the spring we'll be doing not only the rest of the tree removal, but we're going to be looking to the debris. So there's funding from the state for the debris. It doesn't come as fast as we would like it. It's there, it's promised. So Mr. French is going to help us move that along. So anyway, I see you looking around. Yes, sir.
One other thing, so Megan Donine, who does a lot of sawing, she has asked if the community members would be interested in having like a chainsaw safety course. We don't know how many of you homeowners are gonna be having a chainsaw and utilizing it. Show of hands, is that something you're interested in?
See one or two.
I see, okay. We will get something organized and then we'll get some notification out where people can sign up, and then we will get something going like that. This won't happen until after Thanksgiving though, so the team want to have a break.
Yes. It will deserve a break.
Colton from the Vista would like to do an update as well.
I know that. Thank you. Yep. Thank you so much. So we do have, like I said, the county commissioner here, talk about permits, and I will have Colton come up. He's with the Vista and he's going to give an update on what they're doing with their tree business. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.
Yep.
Hi, everyone. My name is Colton Duncan. I'm a regional business manager with Vista. It's just a fancy term for saying it's my job to incorporate external perspective into our decision making. So it's my job to make sure we're doing right by our communities and doing right by you guys. So as you know, we cut down a lot of trees in response to this fire, trees that were going to be hazardous and potentially an impact to our lines. And so we were proactive about that and cut down on a lot of trees, as you guys know. Typically in our history, we don't deal with a whole lot of tree removal. So it's funny to hear it said, hey, this is tree business. We're not in the tree business at all. We're in the business of providing electricity and natural gas. So this is all new for us. Dealing with this amount of tree removal is unprecedented for us. And so I just want to say thank you for dealing with, it's been a process for us. I know it hasn't been fast and it's probably been frustrating for a lot of you, but I just want to say thank you for putting up with us as we kind of learn through this and we'll be better, and more efficient in the future. That being said, we're about 2/3 of the way done with what we have on our kind of project schedule. We're looking to be done by the first week of December. Right now, at the beginning of this week, we're just getting done mopping up in the vicinity of Silver Lake. And then from there, we'll be moving down to areas on Highway 902 and Clear Lake, as well as some areas around the waterfront park as well. So still a lot of work to do. Again, we're about 2/3 of the way done. Want to be done by the first week of December. Weather's impacting that a little bit, but bottom line is we cut those trees down near our lines, and if we cut those trees down, we're gonna take care of them and do the right thing by you guys. So if anyone has any questions afterwards, again, my name is Colton Duncan. I'll be here, I'll be around, and I'm happy to answer questions individually as needed. So thanks.
Thank you. So from the beginning of this, we had a little ongoing thing like they're not a Vista's trees, they're your trees, and it's not a Vista's tree business. But they owned it and they're doing it and they didn't have to, and they're a private company and they didn't have to do it and they don't usually do it. We're so grateful. I don't know what we would have done. And that really was the effort of Colton. He went straight to Vista and said, we must do this. We must do this. And the Vista said, yes, it was a big deal. So we appreciate you, Colton, for representing us. I'm gonna go ahead and add the county in here, and then we'll talk about the RV winterization. So Al, do you want to come on up, or you want to speak from down here? Which do you prefer? Actually, here's better because we do have the Zoom going, and Monty, if you would like to come up too, that would be great. So this is Commissioner Al French. If you haven't met him, he's your representative. Thank you so much for coming out and being the meeting tonight. Friend. And this is Monty with planning.
So Monty is our interim building official. Technically, we don't have a building official right now. We're in the process of trying to find somebody. And so Monty is filling in. And I'm not sure that he understood what he was fighting off when he said, sure, I'll do this. But here we are. So, I'll start out by just saying that, my heart goes out to every one of you. Being in this situation is something that nobody, looks, or hopes or expects to be in. So, as we try and take care of each other and our neighbors and our community, many of us are doing things that we never thought we'd be doing in our life. And I can tell you that from the boards and commissions that I sit on, we are either trying to find creative ways to break the rules so that we can get stuff done, or create new pathways so that we can do things we've never done before. So I can ask for patience as we try and find pathways forward. That, you know, I chair the Clean Air Agency, and there's a lot more that we would have done and could have done if we could have gotten the state of the feds to get out of the way. We did everything we could, and we've created new pathways so that if this ever happens again, we won't have to recreate what we've been able to accomplish in this event. So I know that we have at the county changed our permitting process to accommodate you being able to get your homes rebuilt. We were prepared to be able to vest everybody in the current building code, because the codes were supposed to change at the end of October. And that would have added about $25,000 to $30,000 to the cost of your homes as you tried to rebuild. And so we tried to stop that, and had created legislation to be able to make that happen. The governor said he wouldn't back it, and then a couple of weeks later, the state backed off and extended the building code implementation date until March 15th of next year. This is a critical time too. You need to get a house plan submitted to the county as soon as possible, but certainly no later than March 1. The reason why that's important is because all of the codes that are in place today, you will be vested into. You will be able to build under that code, even if the state takes and implements the new code, and the new code is at least $25,000 to $30,000. And if you have natural gas, you won't be able to do that after March 15th of next year. So we're fighting every level from the state on down to try and make the pathway forward as easy and as inexpensive as possible. For those of you that have gotten permits or gotten plans into the county, we're trying to process those as quickly as possible. And I'm going to let Monty speak to that here in a minute. We are also turning over every stone, looking in every bush to try and find money, try and find help to bring to this effort. Mayor Cooper, Sonny have been great partners, and she's doing an incredible job. I just so grateful that she's in the position to be able to do everything that she's doing for this community. I've never seen an elected official love her community as much as Mayor Cooper has. So thank you for all that you do. So with that, I'll turn it over to Monty, and then we'll answer questions for you tonight. If we don't have the answers tonight, we will get to you and get you answers as quickly as possible. But Monty, you want to talk about where you're at?
Yes, absolutely. I appreciate a chance to come out today, stand in front of the camera here.
Oh, yeah,
Your little
that's perfect.
tape right there. Sure.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, we will be prioritizing the permits as they come in. There has occasionally be some glitch in the communication between various groups. We're working to try to make sure we don't have any glitches. I'm going to start off with this. If you've submitted an application and are not seeing activity on your permit, call me. My number is 477-7471. I can happily follow up with anybody here who wants to get that, repeated. If I see one, I have not had any that did not get fixed that day. So things can happen. We're a large entity. Things can go different than what we planned. So call me, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So officially, the process is you go online and you identify the permit, either a demolition or rebuild, make sure you're safe, wildfire, and they get prioritized. So that's the step you take officially, but unofficially, give me a call and I'll make sure that nothing gets dropped. I will say one of the things that is a requirement is a good site plan, because one of the steps, especially by the planning group, is they have to ensure that they're approving what was the original site is what can get rebuilt. If you're in critical areas, especially around the shoreline, you have to rebuild in the original location. So your site plan has to be accurate enough so they can determine everything about it, so they can improve it. So that is a piece that sometimes has had a hiccup or two. It doesn't have to be produced by a professional. Go on, that we have instructions, but if you go on and produce one of our maps from the Scout map online, draw in the site, put in estimates of distances, you don't have to go out and measure them, but say it's about 60 feet. You have to give us something to start from, and we'll ask for more details, but that has been occasionally a hiccup there. But like you said, that we are prioritizing them, and if you run into any problems, give me a call.
So in terms of the building or the process to get a permit, I am by trade in my real life an architect. And the one thing you do not need is an architect. You can get house plans on the internet. If you want to deal with somebody here locally, a lot of the builders have house plans that are in inventory, so you don't have to build exactly the house that you lost. You can build another house, you can build a new house. That opportunity is available. If you don't want to deal with the builder, the Spokane Home Builders Association also has standard sets of drawings that they would be able to make available to you, so that you have something to get submitted. It's important to get something submitted and in the process. You can change that plan. You can make adjustments to it after that March 15th date, because you're still vested in the original code. The real key is getting vested in the current code. That's going to save you tens of thousands of dollars. So I can't stress how important that is. If you have challenges with regard to trying to get drawings, give me a call and I will help you find a set of drawings that we can get submitted so that you can get vested in the current code. And so with that, happy to answer any questions. I see this gentleman here has got one for me already.
I'm trying to be big, I'm waiting backwards, but I've followed what you said. I've got 4 permitted tenants kicked back. So far. Another one this morning. So I think that they're being overly aggressive personally. I'm trying to replace a barn that's 60 years old. My farm was one of the 2 big farms in this area, from 1890 until 1950, it was a dairy farm. From 1960 until about 10 years ago, it was a cattle ranch. And the family started splitting it. My wife and I tried to replace the barn. It's from the 8 buildings we lost. And it's been kicked back 3 times. And it's
Give me a call.
staying in the exact same spot with no changes.
Call me.
Yeah, he'll get you taken care of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anybody who has that kind of problem,
I don't know. I
Yeah.
came from the volleyball games.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
so it's 477-7471. And my name is Monty Chamberlain. And so if I don't answer, leave me a voicemail. I will call you back.
Yeah, you can go on the website, and then I will leave with the mayor my business cards that have my phone number on them as well. So if you can't get a hold of him, get a hold of me. I have an executive assistant who will, like a pit bull, she will track this down and stuff. So, and my phone number, my direct number is 477 I never call myself. 2741. So, yes, ma'am.
Well, how can we know for sure about our property line before we rebuild and the landscape we ever take off? Do we have to pay for somebody to come out and check all that, or is it time to pay for that?
It need to be surveyed, it's really when it needs to be surveyed.
Yeah, the property would have to be surveyed. We don't have the legal authority to do the surveying for you. But you would have to get a surveyor to come out and find your corners for you. Unfortunately, I wish we could, but we don't have the legal authority to do that. Anybody else? Yes,
Where would these plain schematics or like where the septic tanks are in the field, the drain field?
that should be with the health department.
Yes.
Yeah, and the health department, so there's several tiers in terms of getting permitting in the unincorporated area. If you have a septic tank, that is approved by the health department. If you have a well, that's approved by the health department. The county doesn't get involved in that process. But if it's a building structure, barn, shed, whatever, that's what we can get taken care of for you.
So on that topic, if it's that on my handout here, they have the phone number and email address for the health district for septic. So just ask for that contact info. And then if you're rebuilding with the same number of bedrooms, then they're not requiring an inspection for the septic or the well, according to regional health current policy with the wildfire.
Thank you.
But that's on this handout.
Yes, sir.
When we contacted the county, they say that there's no site plan. We built 66 years ago. I guess maybe there's a which file permit, there's nothing but the county. I know exactly what the septic tank is, that I took down to talk about. I know where the drain field is, I know the wellness, the fire sanitation, the drawing from the scout map, without the map.
You happen to live on Freeman? Yeah. I looked at that permit today. So planning has been asking for a little bit more specifics on the site plan, but it's been approved by everybody except they wanted, because it's very close to, it's a shoreline exemption. They have to have an accurate enough information to show that they are putting it back in the same place. That's the rule they have to follow to be able to allow it to be under the pre-existing structure being replaced. So that's why they need the detailed information to show that they're not allowing the building to be put in a new location. And I understand the records are hard to find. They have asked for the old records, the paper records, to be brought in to see if that has information for you. But it does have to be accurate enough so they can say that this is not a new incursion into the shoreline. But I believe, that it shouldn't be too hard to do what they're asking from what I read. But you can call me and I can help you with that. Okay.
Now you know why I brought him. Yes.
I live out at Silver Lake, and what are we doing for the people who are not, or haven't appeared to clean anything up or touch anything? What's the burden of responsibility for the homeowners, for the debris, and then also for the trees that have been taken down?
Some of that.
It's gonna fall under code enforcement.
And for example, we got most of ours cleaned up, but it hasn't been hauled off. Because there's a lot of property owners that are still waiting for payout from the insurance. They cannot get a contractor to move it until they have funds from their insurance.
Well, I guess I'm just looking for, they haven't even, to our knowledge, even been out to look at it, so just wondering from the county, say a year from now, if nothing's been done, what do we do?
I don't know, but I will try to find out. And if you give me your contact info, I'll reach back out to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are trying to be patient with folks in terms of cleanup because we don't. for whatever reason, a lot of the insurance companies are not being really prompt about getting reimbursement money to the property owners, and so they are high centered. So we're trying to be partner with them in terms of getting through that. I don't envision that code enforcement is gonna come down and actually start enforcing until we're comfortable. Everybody's really had a path and an opportunity to take care of their property.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
We got, the asbestos test back. And we've got domestic day, we just haven't gotten on the ground to do anything about it. Can we, start already like applying for permits to rebuild? Or do we have to wait till we've got the asbestos thing out of the way before we can move on to something else?
No, you can go ahead and submit permits for rebuilding and stuff. It's just before you start the construction, you need to deal with the abatement of the asbestos, but yes, you can get your permits in right away. You don't have to wait for the cleanup or any of that kind of stuff to take place. Okay. Thank you very much. We are a resource here for you. Monty's given you his numbers. I've given you my numbers. Don't be hesitant to get a hold of us if there's something that we can do to help. We're in this together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the other thing along well, first of all, if you didn't write down the number or you get home and you can't find the piece of paper you wrote it on, you can contact the city. We're happy to get those numbers to you as well. The other thing along properties, I was just talking to the county assessor's office this week because there was the issue in if you want to have that 3-year reduction in property taxes, that you had to have filled out that form before you begin to rebuild. So I called because some people said, you know, no, I already got a letter that said it's automatically reduced and that's good for 3 years. So I asked about that specifically, and the answer is, if you haven't received notice from the county that your taxes have been reduced, contact them and be sure you fill out the form. So just in case they missed someone. So they kind of drew a line and said, oh, we think these properties are affected. So if you didn't get notice and you think you should, you know, that you're eligible, and the form is right online at the assessor's office, you can fill that out and turn that in. So you want to have that done before you start building, otherwise you won't get that reduction. So you can just turn it into the assessor's office. I think the idea is that it gets turned in before you begin to rebuild is the idea. So follow the instructions. If you have any questions, call them, but that was because I had heard there was a discrepancy in information. So call their office and be sure. They were great. They answered the phone, talked to a person. We looked at the form together. They answered questions. So I felt very comfortable that you'll get the right answer. I just want you to know, don't let that date go by. Moving on then to RV winterization. We have about 8 people identified right now that need help with RV winterization. We have all of the materials that we will need for doing that work. There's a team coming in that knows how to do that work. It's called Team Rubicon. They are looking for about another 4 to 8 volunteers that can help them do that. We reached out to the airmen. We think we have a team coming from Fairchild that will help with that, but if you'd like to help, that would be great. But more importantly, if you have an RV and no one's contacted you or you haven't let anyone know you need help, go to the Reimagine Medical Lake fire page. They have a fire relief page, and it's just medicallake.org, fire relief page, and fill out a grant and say I need help with my winterization. The team is going to be doing that work on November the 25th. So that's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And so we were out and about. I saw that there were quite a few RVs, and then the local committee under the Reimagine umbrella for the long-term recovery for our community sent out a team and put notes on all of those doors and said, contact us. And so we have 8 right now. So if you know of anyone or you need help, let us know, but the best way is to fill out that grant application, so we have all your information and we know exactly what you need, because it's gonna be a short turnaround with the holiday in between. So, next I'm gonna have Jerry Johnson come up, with Reimagine Medical Lake, talk about an unsung hero. Jerry Johnson has probably put in more hours than Ken Cooper, working this. Coming up, Jerry, but we really owe her a huge round of applause. Reimagine Medical Lake has stepped up to the plate. They are not a disaster relief recovery organization, but they took this on, and they've actually made a commitment that they will be here from here on. They're going to change their organization and have that as a piece, so that they can assist with the county long-term recovery group that we're setting up. But for Jerry and her team, and her ability to recruit community, her love for community, is what really brought all of this together in a really great way. And they're working tirelessly. Kay Peterson also, I want to give you a hand. She is with Silver Lake Bible Camp. She not only lost her everything, but she has been camp director extraordinaire, basically. But anything and everything to do with the camp coordinating teams coming in, that they can stay, they can use the kitchen, they can use the showers. She comes and attends these meetings weekly, phone calls. They helped us make a little map with the trees, and we're calling people and sending out emails. But she has really worked around the clock also. And so there's always, whenever you see this work, there's this administrative piece that's happening. Where I say, oh, the magic happened. Yeah, because people were frantically calling and typing and making lists and organizing things. So thank you, Kay. Thank you, Jerry. But she'll give you an update on where we are with unmet needs in the community and how you can get help.
Thank you. So as I was listening tonight, I'm going to do my typical thing. Look around the room and see which one of your neighbors, your friends that are not here, and take note of who you need to call, text, and who needs the information that you heard tonight, because we've heard some really good information. And those of you who come and visit me down on the corner of Lake and LaFay with my revolving door, I'd love for you to share all this information. And there's a lot of empty seats tonight, but if we continue to share the information ourselves, that would be really helpful. So that's my first message. Tomorrow at 107 West Lake Street. So if you've been popping into the Reimagine office or the table next door, if you came down and you met with the Red Cross, or if it was aging and long-term services yesterday, which Jenny Jones, where are you? She's right back there in the corner. So that service specifically is so broad. I would encourage you to chat with her, find out what you might be able to gain as far as information and resources. She met with so many different people yesterday, and we have so many of our neighbors that might be able to get some help there. And so that office we're using for the Salvation Army, they're going to be set up tomorrow. So they're going to be meeting with those of us who are not insured. They're setting up those cases first, and then they will be meeting with our underinsured next. And so that's rolling out quickly, and we're hoping to get that. We've been talking about it for quite a while, so hoping that's going to go well. And then as far as unmet needs, Kay and myself and Kathy Overfelt is in the back. She's been doing such a great job with clothing. But if you have unmet needs, or again, friends, neighbors that you know of, please reach out to us. I know Terry just mentioned our website, themedicallake.org. If you haven't filled out a grant application, we want you to do that. And then if you just need to update us about something, we want to know how we can help you. And so it's important. We're going to continue to get those food boxes as they're available. And we're hoping to get a text group that will be able to keep updating you that way. So that's kind of all I have for that.
Great, thank you, Jerry, so much.
Thank you, Lily. Maybe conduit of resources in our community has been. So the other thing is, when we talk about the debris cleanup, I'm thinking, so we have $2.5 million that was awarded to us, to Spokane County, for fire debris removal. And it goes to uninsured people first and then underinsured, and you keep hearing this and I feel like a broken record and I'm sorry. But at some point, I understand that those agreements are being drafted and they're coming to the county, and then the county will enter into contracts for those. So that is how that works. It is the speed of government. You know, when I reached out to the governor initially, he immediately responded, and then he did go to work for you. He really did. And he reached out to Commerce and said, find some money. And they did, almost $5 million all in all. But it's the entanglement of how it rolls out. So the government process of how the money actually gets delivered to the people takes a while. So that's something we're working on, so that in the future, I won't help us this time, we're stuck with the speed of government. But we learned a lot. We're going to take these lessons, and we're going to try to expedite that for when something else happens, or something like this happens again in the future, to help others in our region and then also at the state. So anyway, that's what's happening with the debris removal, and hopefully we can get that rolled out. The good news is only 10% of the properties are coming back hot for asbestos, and that is really good news, because we can coordinate a cleanup like we did for the tree removal. We can remove that debris. We'll see how that rolls out and how many people are cleaned up and what the need is. But our radar, our antenna are up, kind of watching to see how that's going to roll out over the next couple months. So anyway, any other questions then before we let you go? There's folks here to answer your questions. Anything in a general way? Yes, ma'am. By my estimation, every person in this room is probably underinsured.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it. Hold on to your receipts. I don't know how that's gonna shake out, but it's shocking. The cost of rebuilding, it's shocking. The cost of the debris removal. It's shocking that what we were insured for didn't even come close to replacement, and that is most, if not all, people. So that's recognized, you know, I'm sorry, but that is why people like Ron Burris stepped up and said, how are these people gonna pay $1,000 or $2,000 a tree? You can't do, that's ridiculous. And so these people won't have any money left to even build a house. How will we keep our community here? The goal is really, how much can we help each other to defray those costs so that we keep you here? We want to keep our community intact. We love you, we care about you, and we're here. We're gonna get through this together. I have no doubt, but just know that we're a community. The whole Gray Road fire, we're a community here. And so one step at a time, we're gonna get through it. We won't see you again until after Thanksgiving. And all I can say is I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful that we came through this with all of us, most of us. We lost one person, sadly, but so much more could have been lost. So anyway, I want to wish you a very happy, peaceful Thanksgiving. I hope you spend time with your family and try to put this on the shelf for a day and just let's practice our gratitude. And then we'll see you back here on the 6th of December at 6:30 in this room. And we'll be having some more updates And so let us know what you need. Elisa, also, I want to say the Medical Lake staff have been phenomenal in answering calls, fielding calls, getting you information. I get emails all the time from Elisa says, this person has this need, this person has that need. And so thank you, Elisa. We really appreciate you. And somebody online, I think, has a question.
The question is, any update, excuse me, on the long-term recovery group?
Oh, good question. The question is, any updates on the long-term recovery group? Yes. We are still meeting. We have formed, we have a treasurer, a secretary, an attorney to advise us and keep us between the rails, if you will. 501c3 has been filed with the IRS. We are already a nonprofit with the state of Washington, so we have our EIN number and those things. The board is meeting twice a month and working with those communities. So for Medical Lake, we're working with Reimagine Medical Lake. For the Oregon Road Fire, we're working with the Elk Strong folks. And they have different kinds of needs than we do, but we're addressing all the needs as one fire, as one county. Just a moment. Did that answer your question? The person online, was there something else in particular? Okay, thank you so much. One more question. Oh, Turkey Bingo, Kiwanis on Friday, so don't forget that. Any other important announcements? Cash only, no card.
Reminders. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, get a month's supply and a week's supply.
Okay, Fridays from 10 to 12, another community announcement, Medical Lake Food Bank over on Washington. And is that Grace, Washington and Grace? Yes. And so you get monthly food enough for a month and also for the weekend. So please, if you're in need, go there. And in addition, watch the Reimagine page because they have that gleanings from Four Roots. And so that happens on occasion as available, so that can help maybe supplement in between when the food bank isn't open. So, and if you have other food, gas, those are the kinds of unmet needs we're talking about. Contact Reimagine. So all of you have donated money to help the rest of you. So it's there. Let's use it. Anything else? Other announcements or thoughts on your mind? Okay. God bless you. We'll see you on the 6th of December.
Happy Thanksgiving. Start here in the front if you wanna.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Thanks for letting me know that.
Yeah.